Yo, what's up, everybody? If you're a frequent to my videos, I apologize for the lack of an intro or an outro sequence, but lately I've been highly involved in a project which has taken up the programs that I would normally use on my computer. So I've just mainly been using my cell phone to literally edit and upload my videos, and I don't have the intro or outro sequence um, stashed within it. I mean, I guess reasonably could import it fairly easily, but whatever. So this video is called the Party Planning Committee because it's all about parties and what entails a good party. If you've been watching um, the last couple of my videos, they all entail like me ending up at like some sort of like dance party or something like that. I'm in a, you know, highly centralized collegiate town where it's like the town's economy is, based quite a bit upon the university, which kind of oversees the whole valley. And so there's, quite a number of events that are going on, not only during the weekdays, but the weekends as well. And if you watched my last video, I had a chance to attend a foam party. Um, and I went on a jog today and I ended up finding this flyer. So this isn't actually how I came about knowledge of the party. Um, I ended up just, through word of mouth finding out about it. But there's different levels of parties. And as you can see, the party that I filmed last night was like a highly sponsored event. It's like sponsored by Sprint and Dish and an actual apartment complex. Um, and I think that it was sponsored a little bit by Rockstar as well. They had a bunch of rock stars they were giving out there and like stickers and stuff like that. And so this video is on like what type of parties in college actually entail the best experience in regards to collegiate parties themselves. So you have like differing levels of parties and gatherings and social gatherings. Everywhere from like on my jog today, I saw another advertisement that said there's a fort building party, and this is like being advertised around a lot of the college housing units, where like on this upcoming September 9th, people are building forts, and it's like a social gathering. It's like a fairly like Christian like type event, you know what I mean, like something which is has like the best intentions in regards to like moral and ethical behavior, but is still allowing for people to actually gather and like experience like what it's kind of like to be in college. And then you have those type of things where it's like religious gatherings, set up by actual like churches within the area. And then right below that you have something like the Fortnite, which is coming up, where it's like get together. It's like a nice clean social event where we're like building cardboard forts and seeing how well they can withstand like barrages from other forts that are being built, whatever. And then you have something like last night where it's like a foam party. It's like a pretty sponsored event. It's not extremely underground. And it's like, I would say go and do things rather than not doing them, but it's hard to find like the genuine, like actual events, which really entail like a true college experience. Because the problem with those like big sponsored events, like being sponsored by big companies, is like last night, you know, there was a lot of film crews there. There's a lot of security. There's a lot of police. And it actually really just kind of downplays like the whole experience itself or like the vibe, because there's a lot of people that are there that are trying too hard to like uphold some sort of like social image. And this thing is like being broadcast and it's being recorded because a lot of these companies want to utilize it to further their capitalistic incentives. And so you're not going to truly experience like some really like grunge, earthy raw party, because it's totally manufactured. And so a lot of the people that are there are going to be total buzzkills. A huge portion of the people that are going to be, located at these events are going to be totally people that you wouldn't normally find at like some actual organic party. And it's going to like downplay the whole environment. And I mean, it's good. Stuff like that's good to like let people, kind of like pseudo experience the experience. But a lot of the real actual parties aren't going to be the ones that are like advertised publicly. It's going to be on a need to know basis, and it's going to be at people's homes, and it's going to be trying to literally avert the eyes of the public because what's going on there isn't necessarily conducive or isn't necessarily something which the majority of the public would actually approve of. And people are a lot more willing to kind of like open up, and the music that's there and the conversations that are going on, the way people dance and everything like that is totally different because people aren't trying to like uphold some social image to the masses so that they can further capitalize on the event like they were doing in last night's event. They're trying to film it and record it because they're holding future events or whatever. And so they have to like maintain some sense of congruency with the morality of the society they find themselves within. And so, it's actually very smart for a community to hold things like this because then in a lot of ways they can kind of control a lot of the experiences or like the environment itself. But just having experienced the other side, I know what like an actual, organic event feels like. And it's like fun to be at things like that every once in a while, but at the same point in time, once you've kind of experienced the other side, it's just like, man, this is like totally whack, and people aren't like really being themselves or opening up because they're still, maintaining like that sense of, I don't want people to see me in this type of light, sort of thing. And so yeah, if you're, looking for something to go and experience in regards to party, you have that scale. You have like religiously put together events because in a lot of cases, towns and things to that extent which are centralized around a collegiate facility also in a lot of ways like have highly religious communities that reside there as well, because they know these religious corporations know that it's a huge market for them to literally, market to the masses, and improve their membership. And so they hold a lot of events. So you have that, tier of a stepping stone. And then you have like collegiately organized events, which is like the next level up, right? But they still have to maintain some sense of like, morality or upholding the social standard in the public's eye as well. And then above that, you have like corporate held events, where it's like private companies, private enterprises, kind of like the one that I went to last night. But they still have to like uphold that as well. And then you have like the most difficult to actually find yourself within, but the most rewarding, where it's like actual real people. And it's an experience that you can't necessarily replicate through like want or will. It just kind of like organically happens. But it's the most difficult to, find yourself within. You have to find yourself the right crew. And, that being said, it's also the situation and the experience that can get you in a lot of cases in the most trouble. Not only damaging your life, but just possibly ending your life in a lot of circumstances as well, where you're in an environment which isn't regulated at all, and so it's like anything goes. And it can be a totally damaging experience, or like something which heightens your experience of life. So anyways, there you have the hierarchy of parties, and party on.